Toby Young. Lord Toby Young is a Conservative peer and director of the Free Speech Union. Now, remind us, Lord Young, thank you for coming on, of your intervention in this case earlier on in it.
Yep, thanks, Tom. So the Free Speech Union, along with the National Secular Society, paid for Hamit's legal fees throughout this entire process. So, as you've just said in your summary, tomorrow's hearing at the Royal Courts of Justice is the third time he'll be up before the courts. So we paid for his defence when he was up before Westminster magistrates, then again in Southwark Crown Court, and then again tomorrow.
So why did he have that conviction of religiously aggravated public order offence? Why did he have that overturned?
It was overturned in a very good judgment by a High Court judge sitting in Southwark Crown Court on the basis that his speech is protected by, among other things, Article 10 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which protects the right to freedom of expression. The judge in that judgment pointed out that freedom of expression includes the right to say things that some people may find deeply upsetting and offensive, even outrageous. And if it doesn't include those things, then it doesn't mean very much. And we thought that was the end of the matter. Fantastic judgment. It's not going to be a criminal offence henceforth in the UK to burn a copy of the Quran. But the Crown Prosecution Service, to our surprise, has decided to appeal Hamit's acquittal, and that's why we'll be in court again tomorrow.
I guess the speech is one element of it, that Islam is his quotes that Islam is a religion of terrorism and F Islam. The action of burning the book itself, is that the more problematic bit as far as you think the CPS is concerned? Well,
the kernel of the CPS's argument, both now and in the previous two cases, is that because Hamit was attacked by two witnesses, one of whom was wielding a knife, that his actions caused disorder, and therefore he should be convicted of a public order offence. Had he not been violently attacked, then I think it would be harder to make out the offence.
Right.
That, we think, is a ridiculous argument. It's effectively saying that if you want to enforce a blasphemy code, all you need do is violently attack the blasphemer, and by doing so, you will turn his action into a public order offence and render him liable for prosecution. Not only is that absurd, I think, because it relies on the irrational response of onlookers, but in addition, it's a gold-embossed invitation to religious fanatics. If you want to enforce your blasphemy codes, just violently attack the blasphemer, and the Crown Prosecution Service will take care of the rest.
I guess that's the religiously aggravated element of the public order offence that the CPS is looking to ping him on. Could there not be an argument that says if you don't want to incite someone's ire, violent or verbal, physically violent or verbally violent, don't burn something that they love in front of them and shout things about it?
Well, why should non-believers be bound by the blasphemy codes of a particular faith? It used to be in this country that they were, and it was a criminal offence to take the Lord's name in vain. Blasphemy was, until 18 years ago, a criminal offence. But as we've become a more secular society, so we've decided that it's not the job of the criminal law to enforce the blasphemy codes of any religion. Yes, some people who are deeply religious may find blasphemy, trespassing on their sacred texts, their sacred beliefs, deeply upsetting and offensive, but that doesn't mean that the criminal law should be invoked to prosecute those people. We live in a secular society. We don't have any blasphemy laws, and we shouldn't bring back just an anti-Muslim blasphemy law via the back door.
And this would go for someone burning the Bible in public, shouting at,
Yes.
I don't know, a church, that this is a religion of terrorism and F Christianity.
Yeah, I think it's inconceivable that the Crown Prosecution Service would bring a case against someone who burnt a copy of the Bible.
What about the Torah outside a synagogue? at this time.
I don't think that should be a criminal offence either. I mean, if someone burning a Torah outside a synagogue was at the same time urging people to attack the worshippers coming out of that synagogue or going into that synagogue, then yes, it should be a criminal offence. But as an act of protest, against a religion, burning that religion's holy book should not be against the law.
Really appreciate your time. We'll see what this case brings tomorrow when it's heard. Thank you for coming on. Lord Toby Young is a Conservative peer, director of the Free Speech Union, who have been paying Mr Koskun's legal costs up until now in fighting some of this.